Welcome to Spectrum News at 10. I am Emidion James, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at today's headlines. President Tinubu swears in General Musa as Nigeria's Minister of Defense. Governor Moino restates commitment to providing advanced healthcare facility for residents. Plus, Trump praises Rwanda, DR Congo leaders for signing peace accord. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. First in the news this morning is that President Bola Tinubu has received letters of credence from 21 new foreign envoys at the State House in Abuja. This was disclosed in a statement signed by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. The envoys, comprising 17 ambassadors and 4 high commissioners, were received during a ceremony at the council chamber where the president pledged Nigeria's readiness to strengthen bilateral ties and deepen engagement across key sectors. Speaking after receiving their credentials, President Tinubu said Nigeria remained fully committed to promoting peace, harmony and prosperity across borders. He encouraged diplomats to deepen collaboration in trade, energy, agriculture, education, technology, defense, and cultural exchange. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has sworn in General Christopher Musa as the country's Minister of Defense in a major push to restructure Nigeria's security setup. Musa's swearing-in ceremony took place at the presidential villa in Abuja a day after a 5-hour grilling by the Senate, leading to his confirmation. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga also shared a photo of Musa's oath of office taking event on his X handle.
Priority is to make sure that defense takes its place fully in the country. The synergy between the armed forces, and other security agencies, and all Nigerians being carried along, as we have always said, that security is everybody's responsibility. It is that synergy that we need to build on and work on it, and that's what we're going to. And I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, Nigerians will see results. I want to use this medium to appreciate all Nigerians. Nigerians have shown me love, and I will guarantee them that I am going to work whatever it takes to ensure that Nigeria is secured, working together. Yes, I just met Mr. President, and he reiterated his mind on the aspect that we must make sure that Nigeria is secured. Nigerians should go back and sleep with their eyes closed, go back to their farms, schools open without being molested, everyone being carried together to make sure that Nigeria continues to grow in line with the renewed
In the meantime, the newly sworn-in Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, has assured citizens that the federal government's renewed security strategies will soon yield visible results across the country. Musa gave the assurance shortly after President Tinubu formally sworn him in at the presidential villa, Abuja. The minister, who spoke to journalists, said his immediate priority is to reposition the defense architecture and strengthen cooperation among all security formations. In a related development, a security expert and consultant has outlined key steps the new Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, must take to strengthen Nigeria's security architecture following its confirmation by the Senate. Speaking during Planet News Hour, Lagos-based security expert and consultant Professor Adedeji Oyenuga said General Musa's first priority must be to tighten Nigeria's border and overhaul intelligence coordination, which he described as the foundation of any serious security reform, noting that an intelligence-driven strategy will only be effective if security agencies share information in real time and work with communities. Professor Oyenuga also maintained that combining hard power with community-rooted solutions would help weaken the influence of bandits and terrorists while allowing the military to sustain pressure on active threat across the country, adding that if General Musa successfully integrates intelligence, technology, community participation and socio-economic stability, Nigeria would begin to see measurable improvement in national security. We move now to the Red Chambers, where the Senate has demanded a detailed explanation from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, over the alleged non-remittance of 1.44 trillion naira in operating surplus, as the Apex Bank reported that the Nigerian economy had entered its most stable phase in more than 10 years. The Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, chaired by Senator Tokunbo Abiru, opened its statutory briefing with a firm call for transparency. Senator Abiru said the Auditor General's query on the unremitted funds required a full, clear and documented response, insisting that public trust in monetary governance depended on strict accountability. While acknowledging the CBN's achievements in stabilizing the foreign exchange market and reducing inflation, Abiru underscored that such progress must be accompanied by institutional responsibility. On judicial matters, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed a judgment of the Federal High Court Abuja, which barred the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, also called VOIL, from further stopping, impounding or confiscating vehicles on the road and imposing fines on motorists. In an unanimous judgment, the three of the appellant's court resolved the three issues identified for determination against the appellant and the Directorate of Road Traffic Services. Delivering the lead judgment, Justice Oyejoju Oyewumi held that the appeal was without merit. Justice Oyewumi further awarded a cost of 1 million naira against the appellant and in favor of the respondent Abubakar Mashal. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has said that the soon-to-be flagged-off medical city is aimed at advancing healthcare delivery and boosting tourism in the state. Now, this is in line with the Arise agenda. Governor stated these while fielding questions from Government House correspondents after his inspection of ongoing works at the state medical city comprising Ibom International Hospital, world-class diagnostic centers, pharmaceutical industry, housing estate, and elderly home, among others, located at Ikot Adaidem, Ibionibom local government area. The governor, who took a walk around major points in the city, expressed delight at the preliminary works, saying the project could be flagged off in the new year. He announced his approval for the acquisition of an additional 100 hectares of land to actualize his vision for the medical setting. He therefore called on the private sector to partner with the state government in various areas of the medical investment to establish a world-class medical facility that will stand the test of time for the overall benefit of the people and the state. Let's move now to Africa, where the United States and Kenya has signed the first of what is expected to be dozens of Americans' first global health agreement. It is part of Trump's administration overhaul of foreign aid and calls for poorer nations to play a bigger role in fighting HIV and AIDS, malaria, tuberculosis, and polio in their countries. The national development. It will move U.S. funding from non-governmental groups. It will move U.S. funding from non-governmental groups to the Kenyan government, which would gradually take responsibility for health workers initially funded by the U.S. The agreement also saw Kenya pledging to increase its own health spending by $850 million over 5 years. On the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump has praised the leaders of Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo for settling a war that has been going on for decades. The televised signing of an agreement to end the conflict in the eastern Congo took place in Washington. Reports say Rwanda, Paul's Kamame, and the Congo's Felix Tshisekedi offered a hopeful tone as they signed onto the agreement. New opportunities for the U.S. to access critical mineral deals that will benefit all three nations' economies. So on the foreign scene, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has been welcomed to India with a 21-gun salute and a guard of honor ahead of talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Reports say this is Putin's first visit to the country since he launched his full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2025% tariff over its purchases of Russian oil. It also comes against the backdrop of U.S. efforts to broker peace, but Putin warned again that Ukraine must withdraw from the Donbas region or Russia will seize it. Still to come in the news. West Ham draws Manchester United in Premier League game. Searching for details of this in just a moment. Many thanks for staying tuned. Let's go over to the concluding part of today's stories. On a business news, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekpo, has announced that the federal government has taken a decisive step to revitalize the gas industry and stabilize power generation as President Tinubu authorizes settlement of 185 billion naira in long-standing debt owed to natural gas producers. In a statement by his spokesman, Louis Iba, Ekpo said the move was endorsed by the National Economic Council headed by Vice President Kashim Shettima, saying it marked one of the most significant interventions in Nigeria's energy sector in recent years. The statement noted that the 185 billion naira legacy debt, long-standing government obligations to gas producers, for past supplies have strained cash flow and discouraged further exploration and production and reduced gas supplies for power generation, thereby worsening Nigeria's power shortages and unreliable electricity supply. The minister said clearing the arrears would deliver wide-ranging benefits, beginning with restoring investment confidence in the sector. Still in business, the federal government has asserted that Nigeria possesses the requisite capacity to drive economic transformation across all sectors, leveraging innovation, robust private sector partnerships, and strategic regional integration. The declaration followed the successful conclusion of the 2025 Nigeria International Trade Fair in Lagos, which the government described as a powerful demonstration of the nation's rising industrial strength and ambition. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Nura Rimi, who was represented by Director of Special Duties Aminu Dogondaji, affirmed the country's economic vehicle at the closing ceremony. Remi declared that the fair showcased the country's capacity to drive economic transformation through innovation, private sector partnerships, and regional integration. We move now to our health news, where The Lagos state government has announced the commencement of the second round of polio vaccination as part of the polio outbreak response campaign. The initiative is led by the Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board in partnership with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other development partners. According to the agency, during the 4-day exercise, vaccination officers will be deployed across all 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas in the state. He said the target population remains children aged 0 to 59 months, irrespective of their previous immunization status. Now to Manchester United to snatch a draw at Old Trafford thanks to Songotwa Magasa's 83rd minute equalizer. The build-up to the Premier League match had centered on head coach Ruben Amorim's admission that he had stolen rival managers' ideas for scoring from set pieces. It had allowed Manchester United to move alongside Arsenal for the most goals scored via set piece this season, while no one has conceded more than West Ham. The draw was not enough to take West Ham out of the relegation zone, but it did not prevent Manchester United from moving up to 5th. Still in sport, William Troost-Ekong has announced his retirement from national football after 10 years and 83 caps. Troost-Ekong made the announcement in a post on his X handle yesterday. Now, this was after representing the Netherlands at under-19 and under-20 youth levels. Troost-Ekong also chose to represent Nigeria. He made his senior international debut for the Super Eagles on 13 June 2015, playing 90 minutes in an AFCON qualifying match against Chad. He made 3 starts for the senior team in 2026 before being selected for Nigeria's under-23 team in the 35-man provincial squad for the Rio 2016 Summer Olympics, where he helped them win bronze, among other achievements. On entertainment scene, Senator Ned Nwoko has issued a fresh warning to those he says are behind a growing wave of online attacks targeted at him. In a statement released by his communication team, the Delta North lawmaker alleged that certain individuals are orchestrating a coordinated pattern of cyber-stalking, harassment and criminal defamation aimed at creating a false impression of persecution. Senator Nwoko warned against the rising culture of using public sympathy to shield alleged wrongdoers, saying it poses long-term risks to national values. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtvlive.ng. I am Emedion James, and you've been watching Spectrum News at 10. Do enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you for watching.